Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Insights and Innovations series for this Monday as we slowly get towards the end of the finish of the end of the year. Today, we have our wonderful partners at Channel 9 presenting to us some indie insights and innovations, a collection of new products across all of their suites, some updates on data, and things that are happening in the beast of 9, which is really quite exciting. We've got our presenters, Christy, Caro, and Bo presenting, but Christy's going to kick it off, so I'll hand it over to her to start things off, and I'll keep my pie hole shut. Over to you, Christy.
Thanks, Sam. Hello, and thanks for having us. We're looking forward to spending some time with you. As Sam said, I'm Christy Farr. I'm the GBM of Publishing here at 9. I'm stepping in for Mogo today. I know I have some pretty big shoes to fill, but I've had 3 coffees and I'll do my level best. Presenting today with me is Bo, our Total Television GBM, and Caro, our Total Audio GBM. Our presentation today will take around 30 to 40 minutes, hopefully with a few minutes at the end for questions. If you have any questions, do reach out. You can pop them in the chat box, or we've put our contact details at the end, so please do reach out. Now, before we start, it would also be remiss of me not to remind you that we have some amazing deals across all of our platforms until the end of the year. So please, if you have any budget burning a hole in your pocket, let us know, because we're more than happy to help you spend it. We have a jam-packed agenda for you today. Sorry, we're just moving the slide. We have a jam-packed agenda for you today. Looking across all of 9's businesses with a lens on insight and innovation. I'm going to kick off with a snapshot of 9's offering on a page, plus a brief overview of our data capabilities. I'll then hand you over to Bo, who will share some really fabulous insights around how people are consuming TV. We know that more and more people are watching television on a connected device, but what does vary a fair bit is who is watching and what they're watching. Caro will then take us through some innovation we've developed across digital audio with a new product that we've created that ensures you can track all of your audience, all of your audio audience, wherever and whoever they are. So buckle up, let's begin. Okay, this is not working. As you know, 9 has transformed over recent years, and I wanted to show you our business on a page. You can see we have a vast ecosystem, especially when you consider that there are many more brands within these brands. So we've created 3 buckets for you. Total Television, which is everything we sell on television, regardless of the device it's consumed on. Total Audio, this is all of our linear radio, digital live streaming and podcasts, of which there are many from across our ecosystem. And last but not least, Total Publishing, which is, as the name suggests, everything we publish, which is a lot. And our sales team are structured to reflect this and offer you deep expertise in each of these channels. Now, before we move on to insights for television and innovations across audio and publishing, we thought we would start with data, as it's data that underpins everything that we do at 9. So we were the first network to require mandatory sign-on to BVOD, when 9 Now was launched from Jump In back in 2016. That has meant that we can collect data to provide us with insights on our audience and provide you with more accurate targeting. Our data team undertook the data unification project in 2019, which meant they brought together data from across our entire business, resulting in over 20 million signed-in users. We collect our data from a wide range of places. The majority comes from single sign-on, whether that be 9 Now or in the SMH or AFR, or in fact from any of our properties where people sign in. We also collect billions of signals every week on what people are consuming across our assets. We know what people are watching and for how long. We can see when people have been exposed to your ads. And we also have a panel of 20,000 people opted in to receive behavioral surveys. And as I said before, with all of that information, we're able to gain valuable insights about our audience and create products for you to target them, whoever they are and wherever they are. One of our targeting products that I imagine you are familiar with is our 9 tribes. Think Roy Morgan Helix personas, but built on first-party data. As the world continues to become more digital and more connected, we're able to apply this targeting, not just in BVOD, but across our total publishing and total audio. We have a lot more on data. It really is a whole session into itself. So for anyone who'd like to know more, reach out and we can provide more details. Now, staying on the topic of insights, I'm going to hand over to Bo, who will take you through what we're seeing across total television as consumption habits continue to change.
Thank you, Christy. Hi, everyone. Our brief from the IMAA was for insights and innovation. So we thought it was worth sharing some of the insights we are seeing across television through VOZ data. We'll also briefly cover off Nine's total TV content. There's a lot of talk in the industry about television declining, but the reality is that while we are seeing a very slow decrease in consumption on linear television, that's TV viewed using an antenna, overall television viewing is still incredibly strong. TV still reaches 9 out of 10 Australians every month, and it is still by far the most effective medium for delivering incredible simultaneous scale. It is just, as we know, being consumed in different ways. So as an industry, we are in this transitionary period where the world will eventually be at some point completely digital. Until that time, we need to work together to navigate these changes, and what we are seeing with VOZ starts to enable better planning for how and where you can maximize reach against your target audiences. You have likely heard of the term total TV. In fact, we restructured our business quite some time ago as total TV, total publishing, and total audio, given the move to digital across all channels. And quite simply, as it pretty obviously states, total TV covers the consumption of all television consumed across all screens. Antenna, or linear as it is often referred to, live streamed through the internet, and VOD or catch-up. And that's across any platform, be it desktop, mobile, tablet, or connected TVs. In the midst of the changing TV landscape, it's important to understand what VOZ is and the role it plays in TV measurement. VOZ is a national deduplicated all-screen video database that combines the independent world-class OzTAM and regional TAM TV ratings, with all viewing on broadcaster video on demand, apps and sites including 9Now, 7plus, 10play, ABC iView, SBS On Demand, and Foxtel. The role it plays is to provide a robust framework for the TV industry for planning, reporting, buying, and analysing the performance of the campaign. The industry has always known that linear TV and BVOD play important roles in driving the reach and capturing both older and younger demos. And now with VOZ, we have the data we need to quantify what that actually equates to. VOZ data has been able to show us that across a month, 91% of Australians are reached by total TV, and the incremental reach that BVOD provides varies from 9 to 15%, depending on demos. Total TV also still remains as the leading marketing platform for in-home viewing and for ROI and successful marketing outcomes. It has huge scale and reach, accounting for 86% of in-home video viewing versus social video, which is 14%. It commands a higher active attention driven by screen coverage, so 15 times more than Facebook and 2 times more than YouTube. And it has a bigger sales impact, as ads are just simply remembered longer. Facebook has a 6-day sales impact, YouTube is 8 days, and TV on average is a whopping 109 days. When we take a deep dive into the incremental reach 9Now provides versus other free-to-air competitors, 9 comes out on top in all key demos. 8.3% on total people versus 7 to the closest competitor, 13% on people 25-54 versus 11% to the closest competitor, and probably most importantly, 20% on people 18 to 39 versus 16% to the closest competitor. And I say most importantly, as this younger demo can traditionally be the hardest to reach on total TV. If we look at the incremental reach from BVOD over the course of the year, there are some really obvious spikes in viewership driven by the likes of Maths, Love Island, The Block, and our big sporting events such as State of Origin. State of Origin and the NRL in general has been a huge driver of live BVOD viewing. When we look at the 2023 season, it has delivered 16% incremental audience on people 25 to 54, and we expect more growth in 2024. When we look at the incremental reach BVOD provides on key tentpole entertainment shows, the uplift is huge. Again, particularly with the younger 18 to 39 demo. The biggest example being Maths, with an incremental 36% reach when we're targeting people 18 to 39. And the same goes for our key sporting events throughout the year. When we hone in on people 18 to 39, the State of Origin on 9Now drives 30% incremental reach, and the Australian Open tennis drives 25% incremental reach. The key message here is BVOD, and particularly 9Now, is a crucial part of a screen's media mix to target younger audiences in premium environments. In the last few slides, we have demonstrated that 9Now clearly adds lots of incremental audience to a traditional linear TV buy. We constantly have lots of media buyers asking, what are the best investment splits to 1, maximize reach, 2, reach new audiences, and 3, reduce CPMs. This is where VOZ can come in and be a really beneficial tool to guide total TV campaigns. There isn't an easy answer on how to allocate budgets, and it really boils down to demographics and ultimately how much budget is actually available in the campaign. What we do know, however, is that incremental reach will always be bigger if clients can add budget as opposed to shifting budget. On average, by adding an additional 20% of audience onto 9Now, you will add 2 percentage points of incremental reach and essentially maximize your unique reach when buying on people 25 to 54. And apologies if I'm stating the obvious, but essentially the more money spent on the campaign equates to more eyeballs. So to summarize, the advantages of buying TV holistically, i.e. linear TV across metro and regional and BVOD, you will improve your targeting, reduce wastage, increase your total reach, be able to effectively target younger demos, create lower entry costs for smaller budgets, have flexibility across broadcast, live streams, and video on demand, future-proof campaigns as the industry shifts online, frequency cap across screens, and most importantly, cut through with sight, sound, motion, and emotion. So that covers off our innovation and insights into TV, but it would be remiss of me not to briefly touch on our content for 2024. It is business as usual for the most part in entertainment with our big formats such as Maths, The Block, Love Island, and many others returning, with some great new shows such as Food Stars, Tipping Point, and Beyond the Dream, which is an Olympics doco series. No changes for our news and current affairs, with Today Show in the mornings, news throughout the day, our 6 p.m. bulletin, and other regular formats such as ACA, 60 Minutes, and Under Investigation. And of course, our vast sports slate with the NRL and NRLW, the Australian Open tennis, and the other 3 tennis majors, the Masters Golf, Super Rugby, and of course, the big one, in case you hadn't heard, Nine is broadcasting the Olympic and Paralympic Games from Paris in 2024. So to summarize, the future of TV is total TV, which is metro and regional markets, and it is consumed on demand, live linear, and live streaming. I will now pass back over to Christy to take you through Nine's total publishing offering.
Thanks, Bo. So let's talk total publishing. Nine Publishing is a news and lifestyle powerhouse, leading the national conversation every day and attracting more readers than ever before. We deliver a reach of just over 16 million people monthly across our powerful print and digital portfolio. We've everything from the iconic Sydney Morning Herald and Age to the leading business and finance brand, the AFR. We also distribute 25 magazines a month, delivering context on every imaginable passion point. And 9.com.au is, of course, home to 9 Honey, 9 News, WOZ, and speciality verticals like property and finance. On top of that, we have many show sites that provide additional content and behind-the-scenes coverage on the highest rating shows on TV. It's undeniable that Nine Publishing reaches everyone from C-suite decision makers, community influencers, and middle Australia at scale. In terms of our audience, unsurprisingly, in the last 3 years, we've seen a slight decrease in our print circulation. However, we've also seen a 28% increase in our unique users online. People are coming to us for news, investigations, and political coverage, as well as travel and, of course, good food. Our subscribers are staying longer and reading more than ever before. It's important for us to remember when looking at advertising on our mastheads that the only way to maximize reach is to have online presence as well as print. Now, talking of print, I wanted to share CBA's financial abuse campaign, which is another great example of a great campaign about starting a discussion around coercive abuse and its impacts. It was launched with this high impact print wrap on the SMH, an execution that only print could execute. This brilliant execution plays with the medium, how you engage with it, and an environment that is trusted and connects with educated and influential people to start a conversational movement. The first page grabs your attention. The second page shows one side of the story, or really how things often appear. When you read the whole DPS, you get the whole story. Things are often not what they appear, and it prompts the reader to think about their community and people at risk. Strong CommBank messaging of them being there to make a difference and support victims of financial age. We continued this education of our readers with more high impact executions in print and digital, from homepage executions across the SMH and Age, digital native articles on 9Honey, and wraps of Sunday Life and Good Weekend. We also utilised the power of 2GB Talk Radio to align the campaign. Besides driving awareness and educating the Nine audience on the topic, the creative also brought CommBank's support service availability to the forefront. The message was powerful, and the partnership remains ensuring that this type of abuse is kept in the forefront of our minds. Now, on a lighter note, I wanted to show you another great use of print. Our annual Power issue of AFR magazine is one of our most popular. Historically, we've carried an image of the Prime Minister on the front cover. However, during COVID, we carried a very simple QR code. The QR code took you to a gallery of the state leaders because, let's be honest, during COVID, they were the ones calling the shots. The QR code in print has become invaluable to bridge the gap between print and digital. To round out publishing, let's look at the three key areas. To round out publishing, let's look at three key areas of focus in the mastheads. The Australian Open. Our coverage will be more comprehensive than ever, covering matches, behind-the-scenes discussions, and the news as it happens. Not forgetting that the Good Weekend Australian Open special will return in January 2024. The Olympics. Not sure if you've heard, but Nine will be the home of the Paris Olympics. We're contractually obliged to mention it at least 3 times in any given presentation, and this one's no different. In all seriousness, though, our readers love our high-quality sports journalism, and our coverage of the Paris Olympics will be everything that you expect and much, much more. From our newsroom on the ground in Paris, delivering in-depth analysis and covering every story as it breaks, we will cover everything you need to know about Paris, from where to stay, what to eat, and where to go. And finally, our third focus is good food, the home of the hats. Having stepped the site back under the mastheads, we can see just how much our readers love our content. From the latest recipe tin recipes to how to create restaurant favorites at home or where to go for the newest flavors, we're doubling down on this much loved content and brand. Expect to see a plethora of good food in all of our titles in 2024. Now, after that whistle-stop tour, I'll pass you to Caro for Total Audio.
Hi, everybody. Well, as they say, we'll save the best until last. Hi, everybody. I'm Carolyn Moore, and welcome to the Nine Total Audio section of today's presentation. where we're going to take you through the exciting new product we have launched off the back of the 9 upfronts for digital audio. This is a shiny new tool developed to answer a challenge for marketers unique to the digital audio space, and it's called Audience Plus. Firstly, though, let's do a quick recap on what exactly we're talking about when we say 9 total audio. Well, it's two things really. It's radio and it's podcasting. These two sides encompass all we offer at 9 that can be listened to. On the radio side, it's talk radio, of course, linear or streamed and addressable, brought to you by the unmatched in market radio power brands 2GB, 4BC, 3AW and 6PR. And it's podcasts, entertaining, investigative and specialist podcasts from all across the entire 9 ecosystem, which includes catch-up radio podcasts, 9 publishing news, biz, finance and investigative podcasts, and 9 TV's 9 Honey news and TV entertainment podcasts. The current headline stats there, over 2 million people listen each week to the 9 Talk radio, and there were 1.64 million podcast listeners last month. So looking a little closer at our digital audio stats, you'll find that our digital audio audience skews younger than our linear radio audience. We have 424,000 streaming radio listeners each week, 45% of whom are exclusive in that they do not listen to any other commercial radio stations, and 41% of whom are under the age of 40. Our TSL is high with this audience, as it is with our linear audience. They are listening for over 10 hours per week on average. Catch-up radio podcasts are very popular and recorded 2.4 million downloads with 876,000 unique listeners last month. Our original podcast business is going from strength to strength with 2 million downloads last month. The interesting thing about our differing products is the complementary audience profile. 69% of 9 podcast listeners are aged under the age of 40. Don't forget, you can also target regional listeners to our radio stations via out-of-market streaming, along with regional podcast listeners. This is an audience that is growing for 9 digital audio, as it's easier for regional listeners to access our products. Moving on. Now, thinking about digital audio and targeting capability, let's briefly look back. If we cast our minds back to this time last year, we successfully launched our addressable audio targeting product based off our single sign-on listeners via our 9 radio apps. Hopefully you're all familiar with how we do this. When someone logs into our radio app at 9, we capture them as an authenticated person and create a NUID, a 9 user ID. Authentication allows 9 the ability to identify our users and capture age, gender, email and postcode data across any device to target specific audiences to provide addressable listening moments. This has been embraced by you all, and we've seen fantastic growth in the addressable audio revenue in FY23. However, lots has happened since then. And to start with, there's been an explosion of ways to listen over the past few years, thanks to connected devices. If we look at the Infinite Dial 2023 report that was released in July, we can see that digital audio has hit critical mass, with 3 in 4 people listening, people 12 plus listening in the last 7 days. We can also see that the mobile phone is the most popular device for audio content, not to mention people accessing through CarPlay, and also, lastly, almost 50% of digital radio was listened to via a smart speaker. This shows that people are on the move and accessing audio as and when they want on the device of their choice. In addition, the biggest news to happen in the radio world over the last 12 months has been the launch of Radio 360, the new measurement that enables publishers like ourselves to measure and report on digital listenership alongside linear. It's not only enabled us to measure and separate digital from linear, it's also provided us with deeper audience insights for digital streaming. What this has meant for 9 is that it's become apparent that we have a lot of listeners accessing us via other devices and platforms. This is also the case for our podcast listeners, given a majority of our podcast listening is done on third-party platforms. This means that whilst we have an authenticated listener base that accesses via our owned apps, we also have many people listening that we're unable to authenticate and therefore target with our addressable products. And this isn't a surprise when we think of consumer behaviour around digital audio consumption. But unlike BVOD, where audiences have to log in to one platform, i.e. 9Now, audio listening is ubiquitous. Audiences can access via 9's apps and log in, but they can also listen via many distribution networks such as Apple and Spotify, not to mention smart speakers. Consumers do not have to log in many instances, and in others where their data is collected, it's not shared outside of the platforms they're listening via. This is true for both live streaming and podcasting. There are therefore large audiences that we're not able to target using authenticated logged-in data. And this explosion in the ways of listening has created a very real challenge for marketers that is unique to digital audio. And it's this problem that we created Audience Plus to solve. So say hello to Audience Plus, which we call AP Plus. AP Plus is the next evolution of our data targeting across all of our digital audio channels. The main goal is to enable data-driven advertising for our advertisers across all consumer touchpoints for digital audio. AP Plus uses IP as its identifier and therefore helps to provide targeting solutions for marketers that work around some of these challenges. The use of IP targeting provides the ability to target consumers wherever they're listening, regardless of device and platform, and it's a broadly accepted way of targeting in the digital world. It means we can target listeners wherever they are listening, from smart speakers to third-party platforms, as we're able to gather IP addresses from wherever the consumer is logged into the internet. And it also means that we're now able to run data-driven advertising across podcasting as well as live streaming, which we've been unable to do until now. So how does it work? Well, it comes to life in 3 simple steps. Through the 9 Pixel, we're able to collect the online behaviours of our users across total TV, total publishing, and total audio. The creation and combination of the billions of data signals generated by the Pixel provides us a unique view of the individual. These data signals are matched to an IP address and pushed to the Triton ad server. The stitching of IP and our first-party data signal enables us the ability for audience targeting across smart speakers and podcast players. Unlike many of our audio competitors, the depth of Nine's data is a competitive advantage in market. If you think of how the other audio businesses build their audiences, they're only able to access data on listener behaviour that they see across their audio platforms. At Nine, not only do we have the listening behaviour, but we also have their behaviours based on the content they read and digest and the TV shows they watch. Our enormous amount of data on user behaviour and the technological ability to build profiles using IP allows for a more accurate targeting based on our greater knowledge of the individual. So with the launch of AP Plus, we have 2 powerful data sets being brought to market, Audience Plus Tribes and Audience Plus Near. So similar to our 9 tribes, Audience Plus Tribes segments individuals into specific tribes based on how they interact with different digital assets, whether it's listening to Ben Fordham in the morning on 2GB or reading 9 Honey in the afternoon to keep up with the latest celebrity gossip. The different data touch points allow us to construct a deep understanding of our users. This means we're now able to offer an extensive catalogue of audience segments across key categories, all of which are able to be delivered across both live streaming and podcasting. As you can see, we now have a total of 27 tribes expanding beyond just category verticals. We have the scale in AP Plus to now deliver more granular segments, providing you all with more options than ever before when answering your briefs. Moving on to Near, extended our partnership with Near to provide more segments across digital audio. As most of you know, Near is our location data partner, providing us the ability to target people based on specific locations that they've visited. Compared to Audience Plus Tribes, which is created on digital identifiers, Near provides us the ability to target people based on their offline behaviour. We're able to track people wherever they're going and how often, and build segments off the back of this. For example, gym goers, people who visited pet stores, petrol stations and pharmacies, along with people who have visited car dealerships in the past 30, 60 days, and the list goes on. With 39 segments now available, you now have the ability to target people based on their trip to a local dealership, all the way to the higher affluent individual visiting luxury retail outlets. And with specific news segments available across BVOD, display and audio, a client can target a vast range of relevant users, getting their brand in front of consumers' eyes as well as into their ears. So easy to buy. We've made sure that it's easy to access regardless of how your agency loves to buy. This shows you clearly how you can buy and sell the various targeting options across podcasting and live streaming. The exciting thing is we're now able to do data-driven targeting across podcasts and also run programmatically, all of which are new capabilities for us and ones that will be new news for your advertisers. Measurement and insights, in addition to working with Near as a data partner, because they're a location partner, we also work with them when we want to measure digital audio campaign effectiveness. They're able to partner with us and our advertisers and run footfall studies in conjunction with campaigns across digital audio. This is now available to do using IP, which means we can run footfall studies across podcasting as well as live streaming. Again, this is a new capability and you can speak to your Nine radio sales exec for more information about this. So wrapping this all up now with a neat little bow for you. To summarise, what is Audience Plus? Well, it's a targeting tool you can use when advertising with Nine's digital audio products that targets our listeners everywhere they're listening, including when they are listening off Nine's owned apps and platforms. It provides scale as it's targeting all of our listeners, whether they're logged in or not. It unlocks data targeting across podcasting, so you can now apply data targeting to both your podcasting and your live streaming radio campaigns. Flexi and easy to buy via handheld or programmatic buying. Also accountable, as we can now offer measurement of effectiveness through near footfall studies. Just ask your friendly Nine Total Audio sales rep for more information on Audience Plus, or send us a brief so you can see a response in action. So thank you, team. This brings our presentation to a close today. Hopefully you're all feeling completely wowed and inspired by the new innovations we've presented today. Before we go, are there any questions? Do we know? I can't see any.
So often there isn't.
Is there any questions, Sam?
No, I don't believe there is. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Nine. Thank you, Caro. Thank you, Bo. Thank you, Christy. Thank you, members, for tuning in. Oh, can they get it? Paddy wants a copy of the deck.
Absolutely.
Certainly can.
Paddy Deneen.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. Just a reminder, AGM on Friday for those in Sydney, leaders who want to come to the boat party. 3 tickets left. Cans and Cans tickets is half price available. Look on the closed LinkedIn group for that. Off to WA next week for WA members over there. There's a boat party over there. And we're going to be producing the guiding principles of AI in the next couple of weeks. Just yell out for that one. And there is also a trends document coming out there. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great day and talk to you soon.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Thank you.